Hey FTM Fantastic, my name's Luke, and this week we're talking about downstairs growth, I believe. I'm not really going to talk about this from like a personal experience because I don't really have too much to say about this topic myself, and I'm not really comfortable like talking about too much. But I do want to talk about something that kind of relates to this, and that is the expectations you might have being preteen. I see a lot of comments on a variety of different resources, Tumblr, Facebook, YouTube, like people asking if it's somehow possible for them to not have bottom growth, or if there's any way that they can go on T without having that side effect. That is not possible. If you are going on T, you've got to expect bottom growth. Might not be much, might be heaps. It really depends on the person, and each person is different. You have no idea what your region is going to do. I don't know if there's anything you can do to like change it. I don't think there is. There's like DHT if you want it to go bigger, but there's nothing really, you can't make it grow any less than it will. It grows because of the receptors in those areas that are triggered by the additional testosterone, and therefore the area grows, and it's just how it is. Be prepared. I have also seen somewhere that someone was going to go on T in a week and they did not know that they were going to have bottom growth. That just shows that they have not really done enough research. And like, I don't mean that in a horrible way, and I'm sure like whatever, I've seen, and it's not just once, I've seen it quite a few times, and it's a bit kind of unnerving almost. Like, you shouldn't be about to put this substance into your body without knowing full well what all of the consequences are, including that. Like, I just think it's a little bit strange that you would be willing to jump into something so serious as medical transition, because this is a big step. No matter if you feel like you only need to go on hormones for a little bit, or if you're going to go on hormones for the rest of your life, starting hormones is a big step, and if you are not fully aware of what you're getting yourself into, you are not going to have a good time, and it will be very scary. You'll be completely out of control, and you can't put yourself in that position. That is why most places have intense psychiatric assessment that you have to go through, and it might feel like it's gatekeeping, but it's to stop people from going on hormones and then in 2 months time being like, holy shit, what the hell has happened? And I'm not saying that like informed consent is bad, and I'm not saying anything like that at all. Even with informed consent, they make sure you know what you're going through. Just please don't consider going on hormones unless you know exactly what's going to happen to you, because this could end really badly for you. Like, not being prepared for some of the changes. Like, I knew exactly what was going to happen when I started T. Even I felt like I wasn't in control sometimes, and even I felt like I wasn't, like, not that I regretted my decision. I have not regretted my decision at all, but even I felt a bit like, oh, you know, like, this is all happening so fast, so much is happening, and it's kind of made me feel a little bit out of control, and a little bit like I have no idea what's going on with my life, and I feel so confused. And I was 100% sure. I'd been researching T since I was like 14, however old I was when I realized I was trans. This sort of stuff is big stuff, and you can't just jump into it without realizing what you're getting yourself into. And I'm not going to say that people are doing it more regularly, but I feel like there's this sort of culture around transition, especially on Tumblr and YouTube, that you go on T, you got to, but no one really explains like how serious this decision is. It's almost like, oh, well, it's a given. You transition, you go on T. And this really isn't talking about bottom growth, but you know, I'm kind of going off on a little bit of a tangent, but I think it's what needs to be said. There's a lot of pressure in the online trans community to follow a certain steps at a certain period of time, and it's almost like the second you come out as trans, you're sort of almost meant to want to go on T right away and try and get on T as soon as possible. But sometimes you can't just jump into that. You need to know what you're doing, and you need to know what you're getting yourself into, because jumping into something so serious, something as serious as hormones, without 100% confidence that you know exactly what is going to happen to your body, and like, by exactly know what happened to your body, I don't mean like exactly like, oh, I'm going to sprout one chin hair 4 months and 2 days on testosterone. As long as you know, okay, well, these are the changes that are going to happen to me, these are the things I'm meant to expect, these are the things that aren't reversible, these are the things that are reversible, because you don't want to get into a position where you've had all these irreversible changes and you realize, oh, I didn't really actually feel like I needed to go on testosterone, I kind of just felt pressured to do so. Growth downstairs, that's permanent. Whether you go off T, that's a permanent change. That's one of the changes that does not go back. If you have an issue with growth downstairs, or you don't want that, if you go on T, it's gonna happen. It's to be expected. Make sure you're prepared for that. Make sure you find a way to sort of mentally deal with that if it's a problem for you, because for some people it is a problem. You know, this is a part of your body that you sort of almost have to relearn And that can be very confronting, especially when that part of your body is something that you're already dysphoric about, you know? Having to actually see changes and bringing attention to that can be confronting and can be difficult. Because it's happening, you're drawing attention to it, you're thinking about it, and that can sometimes trigger dysphoria. However, also because of what is actually happening, that can also make dysphoria lessen. Like, it really depends. Also, be prepared for the fact that it takes a while for everything to settle down, and you could be feeling a little bit out for the first couple months, and that's completely normal. I legitimately have had 7 assignments, so I've just been literally just living off coffee and will, as in like willpower, not like a person called Will. I don't know anyone called Will. Yes, I do, but I'm not thinking. I'll see you guys next week. Actually, something exciting. So next week we're doing a video on cooking, and I have a treat for you guys, and I have an awesome plan for this week's topic, but I need your help. So what I need you guys to do is I need you guys to leave a comment of a ingredient. Now, I don't want like 50 gazillion comments of all these random ingredients, so if you see a comment you like or a comment that you want to suggest, like it. The top 10 liked, I'm going to use as part of my video next week. So you really can choose what you want. Please no seafood, because I hate seafood. No mushrooms. But besides that, I'm pretty open, and it can be anything from like condiments to like full-on actual stuff. Comment down below, you'll see what happens with those next week. Do with that information what you wish. I'll catch you guys next week. Bye.